This is my review on Man of Steel from 2013. I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. Even though it's one of my favorite movies of all time, I gotta admit it has its problems in terms of pacing issues wise. Sometimes so Man of Steel is about Superman. It's another retelling of the origin story for Superman, while also turning into his big epic. But that's kind of my problem with this. I don't know, maybe it feels a little too big of an epic at times, the story. It doesn't feel relatable enough, and feels like it's more focused on gets lost in the epic of every scales of everything, and kind of forgets to make Superman well-rounded and makes him boring again, like the Christopher Reeve days did. I'm just going to say it. This is probably the most boring Superman out of all of them. Supermans that could be. Out of all the representations I've seen. I didn't ever try to do adaptation in animated or in live action. I don't hate his Superman, but his Superman is just not Superman enough. By the end of the movie, or by even the end of the Snyder trilogy, he's still not Superman enough to me. So, this time, Superman is played by none other than Henry Cavill in the Snyder trilogy, starring in Man of Steel. I like now the soundtrack kicks ass though. But I feel like I would be kind of a sucker if I didn't get suckered in the soundtrack and wanted to give it a 10 on 10 just based off the score alone to Man of Steel. But I think that would be kind of a shallow Craig move if I did that. Give it a 10 out of 10 for that reason only, so to me that's not a good enough reason, okay? There's been multiple reasons for me why to bump it up, so. Same goes for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice from 2016, the sequel to Man of Steel. Which continues the story of Man of Steel by a few months, by 6 months, after 6 to 12 months of Man of Steel, so the Superman's a little more experienced, but he still needs to grow, I think. Oh, then the movie kills him off. But then they bring him back in the Justice League installment after bringing him back the first time at the end of Batman v Superman. They bring him back again in Justice League the second time, because Justice League, Zack Snyder's cut, retcons the events of how Superman comes back in the events of Batman v Superman. Or he forgot about how it ended. Snyder did. Made an honest mistake, maybe. Who knows? We might never know, but from the horse's mouth. Or I might never hear. Yeah, so. Just like how this Batman and his Superman found out each other's identities. I mean, how does Superman found out Batman's identities, and how does Batman found out Superman's identity in this movie in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? When did that happen? I don't know. I missed it. I kind of missed the part when that scene happened. I think it got cut out of the movie, or I never was shot because he forgot to shoot it. Whoops. And I think that's a big plot hole in Batman v Superman, so that's why I give it a 5 out of 10 for me. This raises the bar to question high. Batman kills for no reason, and also Robin's dead, and we don't see any flashbacks. We're getting closure of what happened. We just get Easter eggs. The Joker did it. Okay, that's all. Yeah, I would have liked something. Okay, yeah. If we're going to go this far and getting Batman killed and make him a cold-blooded murderer, then why don't you just go all out and just go reckless with it and just have him use a Tommy gun or something, or a gun and knives. You know, it's just like you go with it. Have him use guns, knives, weapons, grenades on people. Have people decapitate people and blow people's head off by shoving a grenade down their head, in their mouth, and then releasing it and having it blow up the person's individual head of a criminal, like the Joker. Because the whole, it's just so lame when people, get Batman to kill. And Snyder's no different. Because instead of rolling with it and going with it, the concept and letting him use guns and knives and grenades and nuclear and some other dangerous shit, weapons of violence, mass destruction, to hurt people and kill people with, we just get him to see the generic bad shit that he makes. Boring! Boo! I want to see Batman with a Tommy gun and a machete cutting people's limbs off. If we're going to go the killer route of Batman. That's the only way I'm going to like it. Period. If he goes Craven style. The Hunter style. And goes all Punisher like Frank Castle. And kills people away. Or just lets them bleed out out of shock. And lets them die. And let them go into shock. And says, I'm Batman. I'm the goddamn Batman. I'm going to let you die now, you fucking scum. Gordon has been taken care of. I have taken care of the criminals. You're welcome, Gotham City. I pay to see that movie. And make it rated R or X. You know, NC-17. Just go for it all the way out with the blood and gore and sex, drugs, put drugs in there, sex, drugs, and shoot all that stuff, and have Batman kill all those assholes that do those things. Sex and drugs. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just want to see Batman kill people. Doing it right. If you're going to have Batman kill people going down this route, you gotta go for it. Let me see Batman kill someone for real. Jason Voorhees style. Or Michael Myers style. Or the Terminator style. Or Commando style. That's why Batman v Superman also gets a 5 out of 10. They just don't go for it, damn it. Snyder has no imagination to do that. The pussy route. What a cop-out. Not letting Batman use guns. Boo! Batman should be, if he's going to be a killer, he should be allowed to use guns and knives and everything he wants to use for weapons and other torture devices that are medieval. And own them in his Batcave. Yes. Look, he can still use the regular that shit, but I want him to use the normal pre-market, the normal dangerous stuff also. Addition, more often, and make that the norm. If he's going to kill, okay. Now that brings us into Justice League: The Snyder Cut. This movie's this movie's 4 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to cover this all of every detail as much as impossible, so I'm going to have to. I'm not going to cover every detail, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. In a short amount of time. So good luck for me. Wish me. Okay, so Zack Snyder's Justice League is a pretty fine movie. It's a fun, dumb popcorn film, but I don't know. Even though I really liked it and all, but I feel like it's missing something. Or maybe it just has, I know what it is. It needs to remove John Jones' Martian Manhunter from the movie. That didn't need to get shot. Because I don't know what Martian Manhunter contributes to the movie other than fan service. And besides, like, saving for a sequel, well, that may or may not ever come. And Snyder was fully aware of it, but decided to shoot Martian Manhunter scenes anyway. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. These were one of the reshots, one of the later shots, I guess, from the movie, next to the post-credit scene at the end. That comes before the end credits. The thing is, I really do love the Snyder movies, but I'm aware that I am aware they may not be the they may not be the best quality of entertainment. Okay, in terms of written, competent, for the superhero genre. My standards up from the comic book genre. Look, I guess I like it fine, the Snyder movies, but look, I guess if they were original product, I would give them a 10 out of 10. But considering the comic book movies, I have higher standards to give them a higher 10 out of 10 when I give a 10 out of 10 for comic book stuff. You see, comic book I always had higher standards for because it's something I grew up like in the comics, the source material. So I have higher standards when they do adaptations, and when that doesn't mean I standards I get let down, I want to give it a 5 out of 10. If it doesn't surpass or meet my certain standards, which often it doesn't, and these movies don't. I mean, is Snyder movie better than the Whedon cut? Oh, far better than the Whedon cut. It is a masterpiece on its own. And so is Man of Steel and Batman v Superman on its own. But I say as comic book movies, they're, for me, a 5 out of 10. Because they could have been more like comic books. And I don't know, I feel like I think I was mostly attached like I did with the comic book source material characters. And that for me bugs me. That fact I didn't like addicted to these versions of the characters and as attached, as sentimentally attached as I did to the comic book versions of these characters, the ones from the variations I looked at, and the certain cartoons that I've looked at with these characters that I end up loving. For, yeah, these characters, yeah, so. And it's not like this movie, any of these movies actually make me want to go up and pick up a comic, like Zack Snyder's Watchmen did. When I first saw it back in 2008, I loved the movie so much, I wanted to look at the comic, the source material. And I stumbled upon one day in GameStop. Then I thought the source material was as good as the movie. With the rounded characters. But even though I was introduced to the movie first, I ended up liking the comic a little more. Or just as much. You know, I flip-flop back and forth. For me. Which I like more. Comic or the Watchmen movie. Not sure. So, and that's my problem with these Snyder's movies, of the DC movies in his universe. They don't make me feel they don't feel special to me like the Watchmen movie did. They don't see an L. They don't give me the wow factor that I expect from that I always love comic books for. You know. That's why Zack Snyder's Justice League gets a 5 out of 10 for me. And same goes for Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. Gets a 5 out of 10. Besides theatrical. Even though, as a movie of themselves, the original, if they were for movie standards, as the moment, if a average movie goes, they are a 10 out of 10, I think. But for more, like, you know, for those who've looked at the comics and who've grown attached to these characters from the source material, they're more like 5 out of 10s. the Snyder movies in the Snyderverse. That's all I gotta say. They're not bad for comic book movies. It's not good, but they're great for movie standards, I guess, on its own narrows. That's how I feel. Kind of like the Nolan trilogy of To the Dark Knight. Goodbye and good night. Subscribe to my channel, please. That's all I gotta say. See you next time.